Right now, it's minus 18 degrees Fahrenheit.
Before we start, thanks really quickly to my patrons of tone. You guys are awesome. Keep these speakers flapping. And we have some new ones. We have Mr. Sergei G, we have Carl V, and Joey O. If you go for a tier of $20 above, I'll plug your band. Hey all, welcome to Circle of Tone. And we have Typo Negative. Again, unapologetic. My favorite band. Now that song, don't get at me in the comments. I know I sound nothing like Typo Negative. I'm an expert. I think I can say that. I am an expert at recreating guitar tones, right? I can get nowhere near these bastards and their tone. My bass, I'm using his head, I'm using his pedal. I do have completely different strings, different guitar. Now the strings is a big one. I think if I had skinnier string, I'm getting into it. If I only get this, then I can sound just like him. No, there's a reason why I did a Peter Steele video about the intangibles of his sound. So go check that out after you've hit subscribe, after you've hit like. There is so much I want to talk to about this amp before I get too nerdy. I kind of don't want to focus on gear quite as much. Just because I think the ethos of copying people's tone and it's kind of like ruined rock and metal. There's a good reason why I can't recreate either Kenney or Peter Steele's tones within, I get like ballpark. What did he use during this era? In the earlier days, before they went to Mesa Boogie, they used ADA MP1s. And they used Moss Valve power amps. They used Marshall power amps to power them. On my previous video, which is about Kirk Hammett's gear for And Justice for All, he used the ADA MP1. So I thought, I'm using this. I used a demo VST for some of that video from this great company. And I thought, I'm going to use the ADA again, and my demo's run out. I thought, should I just ask them, can I have the stuff if I give them a plug? And they were very nice, and they give me the MP1. Now, what is the MP1? A few bands, right? SkidRow, do you like their tone? That was an MP1. That was on their first album. White Lion used them. Extreme, hear to them. It is a hit maker piece of gear that used to go around for like $200 because everyone started going down these weird, all the 80s gear started going out of vogue. And that's why I have, you can see above me up there, right here, that's an SPX 90. That is beautiful sounding. And I have a theory that is on the creeping intro to the bass. I don't think it's the Boss pedal. I honestly think it's the SPX 90. That is on the, to just added a little bit to the bass on the symphonic setting. There's a famous setting on it called symphonic. Speaking of fucking settings, I got you back. I'm getting excited. The ADA MP1, right? I just told you, SkidRow, this, that, and the other. Wagner, the producer, actually used a specific setting. I have the settings. All right, it's in the description. Now, why am I giving you the settings? Nembrini Audio, to help out this company that gave me the MP1 VST amp simulation. They are not cheap. You know me, I never do this type of shit, right? But if you use the code in the description, it's 80% off, whatever you want to buy in there, apart from something that's already on sale. So if you want a VST simulation of Extreme, of White Lion, of all these bands, and the funny thing is, the producer said, I used the exact same settings on all of them. The only thing that changed was the guitars and the player. He even used the same cab. So yeah. And I've got the settings that he shared on Harmony Central about 10 years ago. How cool is that, dude? So yeah, go ahead and check out this company. Tell them I sent you. I don't get any kickback money monetarily from them. It's a cool thing. 80% off, like that's pretty cool. All right, let me tell you why. After like praising this company, why I still don't. I couldn't actually recreate Type O Negative with the VST. It's because I need like real feedback. Because he was going through power amps and the rest of it. I'm sure there's a way I could have routed that actually through a power amp. Feedback, right? The reason I can't recreate it, he often uses a sustainer pickup, right? Which basically keeps it's a special pickup which is powered by a battery, super powerful, and it keeps the string moving. So the magnetic pull is so great, it keeps the string vibrating. So if you hold a note, it's gonna just ring out forever. And I can't do that with what I have, with this or that, despite that having EMGs. So I'm going to be honest, just to get closer, I faked the shit out of my... there is actually 2 tracks of feedback. So I basically cranked the shit out of this Mark IV, right? And I put my own distortion pedal through it, the quad damage, and also another boost from Day and Age pedals, and a lot of volume. And I just held, listen, this is me faking having a Sustainiac pickup. I did that for, it's stupid, right? This is the ADA MP1 on its own. Four tracks, 2 tracks. I used this with my pedal and a 1x12 Mesa Boogie Black Shadow cab. So it's half the bass amp playing guitar, and it's half the VST. Plus, I added the 2 extra tracks of my fake Sustainiac. If you listen to Frozen, there is feedback going through the whole thing. Some of the feedback is coming through whatever. I've emailed Josh, all sorts of shit, right? I need to know. The studio they recorded in is long shut down, but I even like tried contacting people. I just want to know what they used for the warble effect on the voice for Frozen. All right? It's just gold. I love it so much. And also the distortion. The distortion's shrieking. They distorted the voice. They put this warble on there. Oh, by the way, my warble was from the same company with the MP1. There's a bigger rack version of it, but I used the little pedal. I'm happy with my version, but there's something about that band, man, that you cannot recreate. And that, I think, honestly, I think that's why I love them. Because there's some bands in the UK, like I was a thrash guy, and I didn't really respect a lot of the thrash bands in Britain apart from Sabbath, because they could do something that there's no way I could possibly do it. There's no way I could play like him. There's no way I could sing like, what's his name, Martin Wokier, is it? And then I look up to them. And it's the same with Type O Negative. It's like, I can't get that chaotic. They're the right mix of just punk, metal, dirge, just noise, and just like romantic, exotic, gothic brilliance. It's like, how the fuck, like, that's why there's no way that they can do it again, which is a shame because Kenney, give my opinion on Kenney, all of the best songs, he's singing on them. He's singing the Frozen part. He's singing the, Black Number One, Christian Woman. He's singing the, you never go out when your roots are showing, die on black. No, the best parts of the songs. They work so good together. So it's just such a fucking shame that he died, dude. And why? To save his fucking cat. He was so obsessed with cats. Look, I always say sing about what you know and what you love, right? Some of the most, like, heart-wrenching shit that Peter Steele ever sang about was about his cat. Please don't go. And it's just epic. That's about a fucking cat. He died on the same day that his cat died. Riddle me this. Is he a fucking witch? So yeah, he liked cats, which you could tell he was raised by women, the cat thing. So complicated band, which it's my honor. It is my honor not to get close to them. But what a band, dude. What a band. Type O Negative. And what an interesting character. And I think Kenney and co should carry on like Static X style. I honestly think they should. I can play bass. I can grow my hair. I look exactly like you fuckers. Can't call it Type O Negative. They can call themselves October Rust or whatever. But get somebody that can do the lower register on the voice. You're not going to get somebody who can play bass and do that voice because, who is going to do that? But there are people that can sing that low. My bucket list was to go and see them on Halloween. I saw them like 4 to 5 times, but I never got to see them on Halloween. Now it's never going to happen with Pete. But hey, come on, October Rust, get together, get on the scene. Everyone wants to see you. You know, you're going to put up with people having fucking hissy fits online, but they are the minority. I am honestly a bit bummed that my bass didn't sound like Peter's, despite having one of the amps that he used to use. And the interesting thing, this is an interesting amp, right? This, do you know how many hits this thing has been on? Usually they average around $200 each, right? And they're fucking tanks and they still work. We Care a Lot, the bass on that, that's the Mark IV. That was also on Epic. From Faith No More. It's Cliff Burton used to use it. Cliff Burton used to use it, and I just found out Lars and James did the same thing to Cliff. They told the producer, turn down Cliff in the bass and let the low end of the guitars dictate. But there's something interesting that I found out, that there was 6 tracks, right, of guitars, and most of the chugging was done separately. So they'd play the riffs, but they'd chop them up so much that to get the rhythm so tight, they had like sections where you weren't playing and then James would come in and play. And they also, which I thought Master of Puppets sounds like it's going through a toilet tube, right? In the best way. There's some weird thing. I thought it was because they sped up tape. Do you know that? Master of Puppets sped up tape to sound fast. They tuned down to D standard and brought it up to E-ish. It's not in tune, right? Speed it up, tight. Cheating, I don't care if you cheat. If you bring out something as good as Master of Puppets, cheat, my pretties. Cheat. So what I'm saying is, if you are watching, Cliff Burton fans, and you have his Fuzzwah, can I borrow it? Huh? Fat Strings Friday? Huh? Cliff Burton? What? I have a Fuzzwah, but it's a Shin E Fuzzwah, and it's not going to sound the same. So if you have the bad, the Morley fuzz, color fuzz, whatever it's called, that would be fucking epic, man. If I could do maybe the anesthesia, you know, I can probably play it with a pick. I actually had some fun. Speaking of Patreon, now I'm starting to upload videos, like just private videos to Patreon called Fly on the Wall, where I just record what I'm doing in here. And I do a We Care a Lot bass line. I do that and kind of prove that it is that amp, because it sounds exactly like it. In the room, via the camera, it didn't sound exactly like it. But in the room, I'm like, holy shit, that's it. I can't really slap, but I give it a good go.
What?
Just like on my Zakk Wylde, where I can't play slide guitar, but I did it. So interesting. And one thing I want to get into with Typo Negative, right? What I often, like, people now in the comments are coming at me about me going after the DAW, the Digital Audio Workstation. Pro Tools, this thing that's going in the background, that's a DAW, right? So I've claimed that guitar nerds and the DAW, drums snap to a grid, drum replacement, essentially drum machines, you're hearing on 99% of it, right? You literally have millions of musicians, here he goes, millions of musicians recording to a DAW in rock and metal today versus a few hundred, maybe 1,000 in the 70s and 80s that had access to multi-track recording. The math ain't mathin'. We should be fucking drowning in amazing rock and metal hits. We're not. Why? Because of the production. Simple as that. YouTubers don't want to tell you that because they make money from this shit. Forums don't want to tell you that because that's the way the pros do it. The pros haven't had a fucking rock and metal hit in decades. Most of the faces that you see, they're all in the box and they're all like basically releasing music to nobody. So yeah, there's enough YouTubers sucking people in the comments, by the way. You could tell they do actually get to me. Let's be honest, right? There's enough YouTubers sucking the dick of the DAW and the guitar nerds, right? There's enough of them out there. There's not enough people that are saying, and I've been in these trenches since the 90s. I've been using the DAW since the 90s. I was the first person in Wales to get the Yamaha multi-track PCI card for audio, you know? I was early adopter for all that shit. I was the first person to get a Zoom fucking multi... I am an early adopter to all of this shit. So for me, I'm just telling you something that I learned like 10 years ago, that this shit ain't working. You know, I've seen some of the best musicians you've ever seen in your life on forums do nothing because they record this method. Anyway, where I'm getting at, the snap to a grid part is what I'm getting at, right? Typo Negative use the drum machine on their best stuff. Where are all the great, like, goth bands? Where are all the great... If we're using the DAW, all these people are using the DAW, why hasn't industrial gone up a notch? It's still, you know, Nine Inch Nails, stuff like that. Nothing's ever eclipsed it, all right? So why is that? So if we do have this technology now and there's millions of people using it, there is a disconnect. There's a disconnect between the old way of recording to tape and what we have now. You know, I honestly, I am disappointed. I'm pointing at you, guys that use the drum machines. I'm disappointed in how you're using them. Dad is disappointed, son. Okay, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Gothy guys, where's all the fucking good music? And before you say, oh, you just got to look in the underground, blah 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 blah. No, bad. Queen, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Pantera, whatever you suggest in the comments is going to be fucking garbage, and my videos are going to get as many views as they do. All right, so don't come at me. Before you say Gojira, stuff like that, they've been around since the fucking 90s. I'm not saying metal never existed. There is, and that's why I like him, because the chaos, I could not recreate this band because I don't live it, breathe it, and their demo was so good that the label actually wanted to release the demo. That's how good they were in the studio. And they said, no, we're going to polish this up. And they did polish it up. And Bloody Kisses came out, and then they went on tour with Motley Crue, which is crazy. And that actually launched them, Motley Crue. I kind of half understand why. I think it was that period where they had that singer with the long dark hair. That reminds me of Guitar Nerds are better than ever, right? He's a better singer than Vince Neil. But the girls didn't take to him. Skill is overrated, I'm telling you. Skillage in the Village. Skillet's never been higher in rock and metal, and interest from the public's never been lower. So there's something to say about Vince, all right? Got the swagger, you know, he's shaking his ass. He's got the fucking charisma, you know? So a lot of Guitar Nerds don't have the charisma, all right? So yeah, that's an interesting part of it. I know I'm rambling a bit, but I've pretty much covered everything on Typo Negative in the past. So I'm just going to give you some extra opinions on how maybe it can help you musically to really think about this. Because mostly good musicians are watching my channel. And really think about the blending of other people, not one guitar nerd in a room with a drum machine, blending of Peter and the boys vocally, melodically, you know, just being in the trenches with other people needs to make a comeback. All right. You can use the DAW, use it as a sketch pad, use it. But honestly, don't record yourself. Just rehearse yourself with a band in a room with savages and then go to a studio to record it. Trust me. Wasted fucking 40 years of my life doing this shit. Not 40. Not far off though, like 35 years. So yeah, failed musician. I think even my camera is getting sick of my rants because my camera's just stopped recording. Party time, yay. I don't know where it cut off, so let's see. Let's check my phone for my notes, all right? My notes. Make a joke about Peter Steele being a rare thing because he's a bass player that doesn't have to pay women for attention. After all of my rants and raves, I still want to try it with an 18-inch speaker. I'll get one by Christmas because I want to do Christmas Morning, Red Water. I fucking love that song. I listen to that song every Christmas day. I think about the relatives I've lost because that song means a lot to me, and these people that I lost meant a lot to me. And it's things like that that cement this band right right in here, along with Tottenham Hotspur and my family. It's a shame that I'll never get to see Type O Negative on Halloween, which is one of my bucket lists. And I do think Kenney should take it on the road as October Rust or something. Kenney and Co. Was just even rotate the singers, the bass player. You know, I am up for it. Put me in, coach. The only problem is I can only sing Kenney's parts. Don't go. I'm passionate about it, and I did lose my drums. Oh, dude, if you think the drums sound a bit weird, I programmed the shit out of them and they sounded great, and then I lost them. So the ones I have are kind of sketchy, and it's like I can't go through another day of editing drums. I just gotta get shit out. I gotta put stuff out. So yeah, when that file went away, I was like, please don't go. And it went. I don't know where it went. Well, wherever it went was fucking super annoying. I love the comments I've been getting on my Korn video. I didn't realize I struck a chord with a lot of people when I talked about the power of a real drummer in a room with some savages going at it. You know, going at it. And that's what is missing. And I know how fucking hard it is. I've dealt with these drummers, with their fucking girlfriends and their 18 children and all the fucking chaos a drummer brings to your life. You know, I think every drummer in my life, right, they've learned the song to perfection, everything, all our ducks in a row, and then they quit. As soon as we're going to go into record, oh, I got to move. Like, all the time I spent with these fucking drummers, dude. So I know how hard it is to find a good one, let alone one that will turn up on time and, you know, isn't in prison. So yeah, I get it. If it would be easy, we'd all be doing it. If you know, I live in Minnesota, right? If you guys know a fucking amazing drummer in Minnesota that wants to collab with me to do some writing and do some actual recording in a big boy studio, let me know. You know, that's all I want to say about that. Because I want to do it the old fashioned way, where me and a drummer and a bass player and a singer get in a room and just like really work hard, pre-production, play the song until I can't take it anymore, and then go into a recording studio to record it. Because I got to start practicing what I preach, right? Hear my song. All right, boys, have a good one. See you in the comments. I respond to a lot of them, most of them, good or bad. Maybe one day, I think I'm going to do more videos. One of them is just going over responding to comments, because there's some funny shit in my comments. How about when I was playing Phantom Lord, that chat, when the video was live, chat said Phantom Lard. Because I've lost 100 pounds. So that made me crack up, dude. Phantom Lard. And it was a typo. We meant to say Phantom Lord. And he was like, oh shit. But it was so funny. I actually pinned the comment. Stephen Herksum, he sold me this amp for dirt cheap. He said, hey, I've got Peter Steele's bass amp if you want to buy it for $100. I'm like, yeah, okay. Check out Stephen's band in the description. Fledgling youngsters are learning to record, and they're doing it a chaotic way. But thanks, Steve. That was awesome. And I just realized I went the entire video without saying what the model of the bass amp was. Yeah, it is the Peavey 400 Series Mark IV. There you go. Thanks, guys. You've been awesome. And I'll see you in the comments. Circle of Tone.